What should you expect when planning to take AP Calculus BC?
As a student, you're going to be expected to have your math skills challenged.
What is the workload of Calculus BC?
The workload typically is about 1 to 2 hours each day, but it differs from student to student depending on their understanding of the material.
What type of students are meant for Calculus BC?
So the students that take BC usually are the ones that want to challenge themselves and their career or their interest is in a career that's has a math emphasis.
What do you think is the biggest challenge students face in AP Calculus BC?
So the biggest challenge that students have is putting everything they've learned from the previous classes together, because the BC class takes that and we rely on that material.
How can AP Calc BC help you in the future?
The BC class or the AP classes are important because it teaches them to understand that every little thing is important. All the stuff that we've learned from the previous classes, for example, slope becomes the derivative in AB. The distance formula now helps us find the surface area for BC, but every little thing is important, so I think that's going to help them there. Anything you do is going to be important in life.
What type of questions are on the AP Calc BC AP exam?
So we're not allowed to see the actual test when it's released. We are allowed to see the ones that are released from previous years. So everybody is allowed to go to AP Central and look those questions up. They're very similar to the ones that we do in class.
How can a student be successful in this AP course?
They need to make sure that they have a good understanding of the previous classes. They also have to make sure that they spend time with the material. If they're not spending the sufficient amount of time, it will get to them eventually. So they have to make sure they have that time slot to spend time with the material.
And lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
But yeah, so students have to understand that math is a very precise subject and relies on the previous learned rules and theorems. And the answers are not left for interpretation. They actually, they're exact. So learning the rules and theorems regardless of the math class that they're taking will always carry over to the next class.